Good evening, John Augustine here. I hope I find you well. A few showers today, but now the sun is shining at the minute. So it's one of them days. So I'm going to do the little reading, the Strength in Daily Living by Father Sean, the little book, and it's very handy little one. So today is Sunday the 31st, the last day of May. And I just read it. I, who am rich in mercy, made you alive with Christ, even when you were dead in sin. It is by grace you have been saved, and I raised you up with Christ and seated you with him in the heavenly realms in Christ Jesus. And that's St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians, chapter 2, verses 4 to 6. Jesus was made sin with your sinfulness, that you might be made righteous with his righteousness. And that's St. Paul's letter, second letter to the book 2 to the Corinthians, and it's chapter 5, verse 21. And you are more than a conqueror through him who loves you. That's Jesus. And that's St. Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 37. And Father Sean says, my child, you have full access to me and to my power. And then he has 12 daily faith declarations. So I just read one. Jesus, you are my Lord. I am in you by divine grace. I live and move and have my being in you. That's lovely. It's just going to be doing that now every evening. And we'll be starting off tomorrow with the 1st of June, please God. Now, we'll do our hymns now. Say hello to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Sweetheart of Jesus, fount of love and mercy, today we come, thy blessing to implore. Oh, touch our hearts, so cold and so ungrateful, and make us love thee more and more each day. Sweetheart of Jesus, we implore. Oh, make us love thee more and more. Sweetheart of Jesus, make us pure and gentle, and teach us how to do thy blessed will, to follow close the print of thy dear footsteps. And when we fall, sweetheart, oh, love us still. Sweetheart of Jesus, we implore. Oh, make us love thee more and more. There you are, Sacred Jesus. Up there now, if you please. Now, come on down, our Blessed Mother. Come on down here now with that. Say hello to our Blessed Mother. Lovely lady, dressed in blue, teach me how to pray. Bring flowers of the rarest, bring blossoms the fairest, from garden and woodland and hillside and dale. Our full hearts are swelling, our glad voices telling the praise of the loveliest flower of the vale. O Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today, Queen of the angels and Queen of the May. O Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today, Queen of the angels and Queen of the May. Their lady they name thee, their mistress proclaim thee. O grant that thy children on earth be as true, as long as the veil are radiant with flowers, as long as the veil shall keep its bright hue. O Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today, Queen of the angels and Queen of the May. O Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today, Queen of the angels and Queen of the May. That's our last little verse now for it's the end of May, Blessed Mother. So we won't be singing that. We'll be back to the normal. So how did you get on today, wherever you are? I hope things worked out satisfactorily. Today was the holy day. Well, I went to mass yesterday evening. I went to because there was the blessing of the graves here, so the church would be a lot of people that don't go to mass, but be there for the blessing of the grave. And it turned out fairly wet for the visit, which was most unfortunate. And I went to Ballinlough to mass, and goodness, there wasn't many there, and no choir. And a youngish priest, and he was coming out like fast, and he was putting things on the altar and that. But honest to goodness, his preaching was absolutely dreadful. First of all, I couldn't hear him. He didn't seem to speak with clarity. Nothing that he said seemed to have clarity. He'd want, if I was talking to him, I'd have to tell him. So my friend Ollie, I ordered a fridge freezer there on Saturday. He'd be bringing it on Tuesday, which is because tomorrow's a holiday, probably. No, tomorrow's a bank holiday, so there won't be anybody working except in supermarkets, of course. And he'll be bringing it on Tuesday, and I have a place ready for it. Had a fridge there, but I'm offering that fridge to my friend Oliver. Um, it'll do him no harm. And so, anyways, so didn't do many chores today, like because it'd been Sunday, and but I did a bit of shopping, and you get fiver off. You buy over at €35. You get fiver, but mine was 50, so I got five off, so I come to 45, and it's good to shop local. I always feel to support the local business wherever you can. It keeps things right, I think. So there we are, and I like to go to Irish stores. These ones are owned by individuals, and they have a brand which is helpful, and they've got a good go of stuff in the good variety and prices. Their own label stuff is good value by and large. So I did that anyway, and so when I have the fridge freezer, I have a small freezer out in the sun house at the back, and it's nearly full. I'd have to be using stuff, but the fridge freezer, I'd be able to have some more stuff that it can be useful to have. Um, like I don't like to just shop every other day for what you need and have nothing spare that you might need if there's any problems. So there we are. That's the story, and I'll be doing a Zoom video with my friend Oliver. He's down in the stall, and he'll be doing one with me, and he'll be doing one with Father Sean separate on certain issues, and he'll have them together then. So he's very good the way he's able to organise stuff. We're very fortunate that he's so well up and doing these things. It kind of helps, doesn't it, to have somebody who's so reliable, and his interview technique is very good because it's been fine home since we started doing it in 2015 because I'm fairly knowledgeable about that stuff. And we were always focusing on what was good and holy and Catholic. And then, of course, some years ago, we become from the Christian and Jobs Action Party, we become the Christian TV Ireland. And we're hoping to have a charity license, so we'll be able to, like EWTN, get help in having a station, and get from somebody that's has plenty of money, and a builder that can build the building for us without costing us anything, the same as Mother Angelica got done. So we'll try and do the same. God is good. God is very good. So we trust in Him. Where it's nothing to do with us. It's all down to God, and we hope then to try and save as many lapsed Catholics and their families to come back and practice their Catholic faith to save their immortal souls. They're in grave danger. If you turn your back on God, it's it's pathetic, and it's a mortal sin. Of course, if you've been baptized, and children that missed the first Holy Communion confirmation are not going to Mass at all. It's well documented. God help us. There's no way to behave. Anyway, so I hope you have a nice evening, and all the rest of it, and keep well. Bye now. We'll do a little verse of the Dublin Psalter. I always like to finish off on a little jolly note. I've been north, and I've been south, and I've been east and west. I've been just a rolling stone. But there's one place on this earth I really love the best. It's just a little spot I call my own. Dublin can be heaven with coffee at 11 and a stroll in Stephen's Green. There's no need to hurry. There's no need to worry. You're a king and the lady's a queen. Grafton Street's a wonderland. There's magic in the air. There are diamonds in the lady's eyes and gold dust in her hair. And if you don't believe me, come on and meet me there in Dublin on the sunny morning. Grafton Street's a wonderland and a stroll in Stephen's Green. There's no need to hurry. There's no need to worry. You're a king and the lady's a queen. Grafton Street's a wonderland. There's magic in the air. There are diamonds in the lady's eyes and gold dust in her hair. And if you don't believe me, come and meet me there in Dublin on the sunny summer's morning. Oh, no. Yes, Oliver. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah. I do, the Land League. He's from Stradone. He was from a little village in Mayo. I know where it is. Yeah, founder of the Presentation Sister. She was from Cork, I think, or maybe Kerry. She was a marvellous person. Yeah, correct. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have had an education. Don't forget, we had head schools, and she was ahead of her time, given for the poor people that couldn't. Well, everybody was poor, so there was very few. The only ones I think was prods that was had money. Those faggots, and we had the position where the people got an education, and the same way with a man from Waterford, blessed. I think he's blessed now. The founder of the Christian Brothers, or the Presentation Brothers. I can't just think of his name. Begins with an R. It'll come to me, but you can look it up yourself. The founder, and he's blessed, I think. He was beatified. He started the Presentation Brothers, and then you have the Christian Brothers, and you had the Morris sisters. So If it wasn't for all these, a lot of people wouldn't have had an education, and they don't seem to respect the education that they got. But the ones that they turned their back on it now, we have all these schools, and religion is nearly not taught at all, as far as I know, in secondary schools. In international schools, it's still something I taught, because I see them here in Oldcastle going to the church and all the rest of it. But unfortunately, they're not. Their families is not bringing them to mass when they make the first Holy Communion and confirmation. And that's the same around the country. It's not just peculiar to Oldcastle. It's probably down in Listowel as well.
Yeah. One person that was amazing for the community and some retail compared to any of the shops today, Fergal Quinn.
Correct. Matter of fact, I met him when he started the first one in Sutton, which used to be the Sutton Grand Cinema. He had an office in Denmark Street in Dublin, and yeah, and so I was in, and we gave him a bit of discount, but he caused us problems in Sutton, because spot best price was, would say at that time, was one and twopence halfpenny, if you want to bring it down to its to a snore, to a per tin, and he sold it at one and twopence, and wholesalers was giving out yarn. So I remember going out and trying to see why they did such a thing, because it was a brand leader, and of course it flew out, but it caused problems. But Fergal was good. He opened supermarkets, and he was good. So I knew him from that time. And he helped in Sutton. He helped be at the checkouts to pack bags. He wasn't sitting at the checkout. He was mixing with the people. Yeah, yeah. And then I knew Dunn Stores as well. They started in Cork, Ben, and then Carnes Court was a big mausoleum of a place. I forget what was in it, but he bought that, and that put him on the map. He had a big half section to drapery, and then and then the other part for a supermarket, and that really put him on the map. And he closed on a Monday, and all the reps from the various companies, including myself, we packed the shelves, so he didn't have to have staff doing it.
Did you ever hear of a fellow called Thomas Davis?
I did, yeah. Thomas Davis. He was a patriot, I think. Was he a music? The name rings a bell, but go ahead.
Okay, I'll tell you what he is now. 2 seconds. So, he was about community culture. Okay, so that's on this. It shows communities that all my services. Okay. Um, Thomas Davis was one of the leaders of the Young Ireland movement, founding editor of the national newspaper in 1842.
Oh, good, yeah, yeah.
A poet, a cultural nationalist who believed Ireland needed more than political change. It needed a shared sense of like,
Identity, yeah. Yeah, he was ahead of his time. Yeah, there was other ones attached to that as well. Patriots. Yeah, of course, they were all.
but he promoted the idea of Ireland that was not only Catholic or Protestant. His vision was that people could belong to in Ireland through shared history, culture, place, memory. He sounds like a good one.
He was good, yeah. And there was other ones that sat attached to that as well, besides him, and they were very good as well. They were patriots in the full sense of the word, for the good of all.
If you remember the song "A Nation Once Again,"
Correct. Kearney, I think, was
he
it?
he wrote it.
Wrote it, yeah. Yeah, he was something to do with Brendan Behan. He was a relative of there.
So we'll include him.
Yeah, no, these were all very good. We had very good people, and one of the worst, as far as I'm concerned, was De Valera. he was the cause of the Civil War, and he knew fucking well that when they went, they were lucky to get to 26 counties. And that, and if he had stopped that old nonsense Civil War, Michael Collins would have been able to put manners on them in the 6 counties, with the way he'd operate, and that's what he said at the time. But Mr. De Valera caused a lot of problems to this country, in my opinion, and he wasted years with this Paxi Irish, making it compulsory, and it was just he just hadn't a fucking clue. He was an ignoramus. As a matter of fact, I think he was abandoned. His mother abandoned him, and his father disappeared back to Mexico. So he was reared with his granny in Clare, and it's not a his background left a lot to be desired.
Now, so we have, I'll tell you what we have now. We have 7 leaders. We have Thomas Davis, Bernard Quinn, Dan O'Neill, Michael Davitt, John Hume, Daniel O'Connell.
John Hume, and there's another one that this one that started the Christian Brothers from Waterford. He's blessed. He was a lay person. Would you look it up? And because he'd be very important as well.
Could you give me a little bit of detail?
He started, I think, the Presentation Brothers. Then Nano Nagel did Presentation Sisters, but the lad from Waterford, and he's blessed. And I know his name because I don't know whether he did the Christian Brothers as well, but he was from Waterford, and his name was his blessed something, and his surname begins with a Nor. You could look it up on the internet; you'd find it, buddy.
We're talking about Edmund Ignatius Royce.
That's correct, Royce, Edmund Ignatius Royce. Yeah, and he's blessed.
And he gave up his comfortable life to educate poor boys.
He did, and that's what they all did. I mean, they had a great because there was no education, head schools. They were marvelous people.
So we're lost to cover.
We do, yeah. Well, we'll certainly mention them and what they contributed. Well, we'll get them on the record.
They're very good leaders. Good choice.
Yeah, it is marvelous. Right, 6 o'clock then, Oliver.
But I think you on your question, you have one question on each leader.
Good. I'm going to look at that now. Are you sending it on now? It'll be
So have a read of that. Your questions are coming up in the next 20 minutes.
okay. Yeah, I'm going to have my tea now, so as I'm ready. My tummy's not rattling, kind of thing. You know yourself. Okay. How was the car going? Your father was talking about rust, and we're all getting rusty. They didn't think of that. We're not as fit. He's not as fit as he was. He's getting a bit rusty. So, does he think the car is rusty?
There is a little bit of rust on the arch, but that's okay. It's above the wheel. It's not under the car. What we have to do is, what he wants to do is, he's putting the car, as soon as the ramp is free, he's putting the car on the ramp to have a look at the underneath, because what happened was, John bought a car to wheels on it, which was 2005,
Yeah.
and spent €1,200 on it, and now it's no good because they couldn't pass the NCT because there was rust underneath somewhere near the wheels.
Yeah, well, this passed the NCT, so it would have been totally examined because of the money that I forked out. So, yeah, put him up and then let's have a look at it. He'd be reassured, I would think. Yeah, good. Okay, so when will your car be ready?
My car should be ready for Wednesday.
Oh, good man. So you'll be motoring, and then your father will be motoring.
My father would be motoring, and there'd be money in John Malone's pocket.
No harm, it's overdue. Right, Oliver. So 6 o'clock then, and you'll be sending me questions. I'll go and have me tea. Okay, bye now, Oliver. Bye.